And a good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Corner Kick. It's Wednesday here on CWTAP. Alex Vidrashevsky and James Pepe.
How you doing today, Alex?
My voice is still hoarse from the Copley Sager bun this weekend with the Steelworkers. You know, this is what happens when I do a football game on Friday and then Robbie insists I sing on Sunday.
So does that mean I have to do most of the talking in this show? Might be as entertaining as Major League when Lonnie took over. Fly ball caught.
Actually, I think it's the other way around. I think you're the one. I think you're Euchre here. That was a great movie.
Oh yeah, definitely one of the funnier sport comedies out there.
For sure. So before we get started here this evening, great event last Thursday at the Delta.
Yes.
For Cancer Support Community of the Greater Lehigh Valley. We were there, got to meet some incredible people, and watched you guys smash through your fundraising goal.
We did. Thanks to the support of the event sponsors, the participants, so our business community, those people who like to network, who came out to the event, and some donors, we were able to blow through our goal of $10,000 for the event. And
Put your microphone on.
oh, geez, do I have to start over?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
I was picking it up. You're fine.
Okay, good.
Now people will just hear you better.
Oh, well, hello. So, as I was saying, thanks to our sponsors and the participants from our community, our business networking community, and some donors, our original goal of $10,000 was conquered. So in just probably a little over 6 weeks, we were able to raise $11,411 for the cancer support community of the Greater Lehigh Valley, and those dollars will go towards providing social and emotional programs for anybody impacted by a cancer diagnosis. And as I know I've said on here before, that means the person who hears the words, "you have cancer," as well as their caregivers, their family members, their friends, their colleagues, anybody who is impacted gets our services, and they can obtain them free of charge. There's no billing. We do not go through insurance. So everything that is raised goes to the mission and to that important support that people need. And it can be from 10 minutes after the diagnosis is received until years after. There is no timeline. So when somebody is finally ready to use our services, we are here for them.
Got some great events coming up as well over the course of the next few weeks. You'll be partnering with WLEV for the Little Pink Dress Dance Night. I'm looking for a date.
Yeah, the Little Pink Dress Party will be at the Wilbur Mansion on Tuesday the 21st, 5 to 8 p.m. It's a great celebration night for the members, particularly of our breast cancer community. That's why it's Little Pink Dress Party. We all don our pink, whether it's...
I already bought my shirt.
Yep.
I'm ready to go.
The shirts, the ties, the jackets, the socks, the accessories count. It's just a really, really nice night. You see those smiles. You hear some of the stories. And of course, we still remember, the loved and lost, but it really is just a very nice night, to recognize those who have persevered.
Also coming up in October at Copperhead Grill in Allentown, right by the airport, you'll be having celebrity bartending.
Yes.
And Chris made his pitch during the football game on Friday night.
Oh, very good.
So he will be tending bar in the opening hour, I believe, in the 5 o'clock hour. He'll be there.
He will be there along with Val Lewis from BSI. They are our 5 o'clock pairing. Our 6 o'clock pairing is Krista in the Valley and Jeremy Brescia Serpro.
They were going back and forth at the Delta about who was going to bring in the most money.
Oh, there was some video work done today. The vignettes will be starting soon.
Ooh, they were cutting like professional wrestling promos too. Like the last one Krista did, it was one of those like it was like, I'm going to beat him.
Yep.
And like dropped the microphone. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
Jeremy's got some competition there.
Yeah, and our 7 o'clock pairing is Valerie Bittner, who's
Yep.
a local model actress, and Dan Lopez. We are putting a little competition together. It's going to be based off of the team time slot. So we're going to see who can raise the most dollars through donations, both before and at the event, along with the tips that are left for them as they bartend. So our 5, 6, and 7 o'clock pairs, they're all excited. They're all back there for an hour. If you're able to come to any of it, it's a great time. If you say, well, listen, it's probably going to be a crowded bar. I'm going to tell you right now, it will be a crowded bar
Yes.
area. So if you're like, well, I don't think I want to be in that kind of space, you can go into the restaurant portion of the Copperhead. We have a graphic that you can get on any of our socials, Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn, and just show that graphic to your server, and you will be participating in the Dine to Donate portion, where a portion of all food sales on your bill will be donated to Cancer Support Community.
It's a great night. We're looking forward to being there.
Oh, it's-
and I'm going to do this. If I'm a betting man,
Yeah.
my money's on the 6 o'clock hour.
Ooh, see, I got a little info, so I will make a prediction closer to.
Oh, so Chris is going to stuff the ballot boxes here, isn't he?
I can tell you this: somebody from the 5 o'clock crew is going to have good company representation. The 6 o'clock crew will have great company representation, plus just a great network. And similar to the 5 o'clock, I will say. Chris going to bring some of his hitters out. The 7 o'clock crew is the sleeper, because what you don't know is Valerie Bittner was the highest single person fundraiser at this last year. And then we're connecting her with somebody who is very confident in bringing 50 plus people for the 7 o'clock hour.
Ooh, that opens the door, doesn't
This
it?
could be really, really good. I think it's going to be a great
I
night.
think we should broadcast this live. What could possibly go wrong? After Thursday night, nothing.
Well, if nobody leaves, it's going to be really, really, really crowded.
Yeah. We'll be there for the duration. We're going to bring some cameras. So hopefully they won't get knocked over.
Yep, no.
We'll just mount a
everything will be
GoPro at
good.
the top of the bar and leave it. All right. What else do we have coming up with CSC that you want to touch on before we get into the show? Because I always like to give you this platform at the beginning.
No, I appreciate it. October, we do have a lot of events. We're the beneficiary, some great things with our local community. So, Liberty Volleyball, Parkland Soccer, Bethlehem, like Pee Wee football. I think it's there with Becca. They all have some great events coming up that we are beneficiaries of. The one big educational thing I'm going to put out there for October is we have a couple of experienced professionals from, I'll say, the investment and the tax world and the real estate play and giving world. They're coming together to do an education seminar on how to make a good plan to do donations now and to also set up your legacy. This is open to anybody, because for me, and even for all, for the people in our organization, if you have always been interested in trying to set that up for a nonprofit that you have a strong connection to, this is the 30,000 feet overview. Very simple to help you get started. In the end, if you choose a different nonprofit and not Cancer Support Community, we're good with that, because there are so many great organizations in the Lehigh Valley. We want to make sure that if somebody needs this information, you can start the process. It's on October 16th. It's going to be at our office on Marcon Boulevard, and also on Zoom. If you go to the program calendar on cancersupportcommunityglv.org, go to October 16th. You can pre-register for the event. It is free. It's just a little bit of education. We're shooting for 30 minutes, and then we're done with the call. And if you come on site, you can meet the presenters and ask a couple follow-up questions if you have them.
It'll be a good time as well. It's a great event, educational.
Yeah.
And then coming soon, CSC TV.
Coming soon, and also coming soon in November, Holidays of Hope Party to kick off the holiday season.
We'll
I'm
get into
excited
that
for
one when we get to October.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Very excited to be a part of that one as well. So let's get into the purpose of the show.
Let's dive in because it was a busy soccer weekend.
It was. We'll start in the Premier League as we do every week.
Yes.
I'm going to pose the question rather than going through match by match. And is Liverpool looking at a potential runaway? We know they're in the driver's seat right now. This is a great question that I thought about this morning. Could this be done by Thanksgiving if this keeps up from them? And then also City and Arsenal can't hold serve. Surely somewhere, right? They have to step back, right? I mean, they can't keep this torrid pace up once they're into 4 competitions. Can they? I mean, maybe they can, but
it's a great start to the season for Liverpool. They've been winning the matches even when they haven't been playing well, and that's always important and shows championship mettle. When you look at some of their upcoming fixtures in the league, their next on the weekend, they play Crystal Palace, their next fixture, away at Selhurst Park. Palace are unbeaten in, I believe, 17 matches in all competitions. Goes back to last season. This will be a test. If they can come through that with 3 points, then they're going to Stamford Bridge, going into the international break, and then they host United coming out of it. If Liverpool win all 3, I think it's pretty much done and dusted. Arsenal are going to always do Arsenal things under Arteta. You know, they're going to drop points. I mean, you look at the weekend against City, they never, to me, here's my Arsenal barometer. They equalized in, I think, the beginning of stoppage time. They went and celebrated at the corner flag rather than getting the ball and sprinting back to midfield to keep play going. It's like usual Arsenal. They get one good result, they think they won the title, and you know what happens in the end. I think,
City's 8 points off the pace already.
They still have issues that are rearing their head from last season.
It's a big dip early on.
It is. I just think, 2 losses. I mean, how many losses can you afford? 5? It's kind of going back to the old days.
I think
4 to 5 is the max. And that's how it used to be in the late 90s. If you wanted to win the title, because the way United and Arsenal were always going after each other, you couldn't lose more than 3 matches. I think City will do their thing. They'll get there, probably close to the Champions League places, but I don't think they're going to be the challengers we maybe thought they could have been. And I don't see Arsenal mounting that serious challenge. You're almost relying on Tottenham.
Here's a question related to Manchester City coming through my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Has Pep run out of magic? Is it time to consider moving on from Guardiola? I'm not. This is not to say that he's going to get fired because they're in 14th place. What Manchester City's expectation now is they're going to win the title. They're going to compete for the Champions League every single year. Rough start, but if we hit March and they're 14 points off, does he make it? Or is there just so much FFP at play that where do you go with if you get rid of them and you end up sanctioned anyway?
Well, the thing is, City spent a lot of money. They finally got a very good goalkeeper.
They did.
But they had already dropped, a couple matches before he could get there. I think, personally, Pep should have left after last season. I think this is the one season too many now. I think the squad needs a good refresh. Been together for a while. When you go through the names in the squad, there's a couple players you're like, yeah, you got Haaland up top, now you got Donnarumma in the back. But when you go through some of those names that are on the team sheet...
Is Phil Foden striking fear in you right now?
He hasn't struck fear in anybody since 2 seasons ago because he got hit with the Euros effect, the summer tournament, so bad. He was invisible last season. Now, I know he popped up and he scored against United, but I think right now the only club that won't score against United is Villa because they can barely score against anybody.
Well, we'll get to that in a moment, won't we? They got one at the weekend.
Yes.
This is improvement.
They broke the duck in the Premier League, and then it was midweek in the League Cup where they scored their first goal in all competitions. So,
I mean, not the start that you're hoping for if you are them. Also near the top right now, and we'll talk about it a little later, but I think with this Crystal Palace thing, it's something we should watch, obviously, because the American setup there, you want to watch Richards.
Yeah, and he's been playing really well for them. Picked
yeah.
up a goal, I think, last weekend, 2 matches ago.
Yeah, playing very, very well. And let's take a little look here right now. You mentioned Villa struggling. Premier League, 1 month down.
Okay.
There's a long way to go, right? Pass, fail.
Okay.
And we won't go through every single team and grade them, but it's this put together a couple of teams that are passes, if you will, who's at or above the level, and who is not looking so well right now.
Okay.
For me, I did 4 and 4.
Okay.
So my 4 passes were Arsenal,
Right.
Liverpool, Bournemouth, and I put Everton and Sunderland, so 5, but I'm going to go with Sunderland, kind of official lock Sunderland as the 4th.
Okay.
Pool looks really good.
Yeah.
Arsenal, they blinked, still kind of in the chase. 5 points isn't the end of the world. Bournemouth and Sunderland have put themselves not just in a place for safety. They keep this pace up. I'm not saying Champions League, but they could they be there at the end of the year for that Europa Conference League bid? Maybe, maybe not. But I think for them, it's the race to 40 point is in a great spot after a month for them. And those are my passes.
Okay. I'm going to go with, you have to go Liverpool. They're unbeaten. 5 for 5. Okay, that's automatic pass. I'm going to go with Tottenham.
Yep,
Did
big
not
improvement.
expect this. What were they finished 17th last year? They were, and disaster. New manager, doing the business, getting the players to fire. So they're looking good, and they battled back against Brighton. I think they were 2-0 down at the Amex and went 2-2. So they got a good point away from home. Palace is a pass. You figured, last year you lose a couple players before the window ends, but they're humming along. If you're 17 or 18 unbeaten in all competitions, you're on the pass side. And I am going to go with Sunderland. Again, a little over Everton, just because Everton lost on the weekend, even though there were some dodgy refereeing decisions. I'm going to go with Sunderland.
Okay.
I do not think they will be in the mix for Europe. However, they are proving they are able to get points on the board. At some point, their wings will get clipped a little bit, and you got to figure if they can consolidate themselves and stay in that 13th place range, that higher end of the bottom half of the table, I think that's great. They just want to be safe. Otherwise, they could be setting themselves up like so many times we've seen. Promoted club comes up, has the season of seasons, gets into Europe, and then the next season they can't cope. They're out of Europe early, and then they get relegated again. So I think for a club like Sunderland, just achieve safety, 40 point.
That's the magic number. For fails, my 4 fails so far, Manchester United. I think that we've spoken about them ad nauseum, right? The disaster that has become Manchester United. Aston Villa. Villa can't score.
Nope. They can't defend either. When your manager comes out and says you were lazy on the goal, and if you didn't see it, there is a picture. Xhaka, as the ball was coming down for him to hit that gentle header over the back of the defense for the goal, all 11 Villa players are in the frame. All 10 field players are watching him. Nobody did anything. and he just think this little header over, a guy runs onto it, beats Martinez, with power to his near post, which there's no way he was going to save it.
Wolves, shambles. Absolute shambles.
We did call that.
Yeah.
Most couple of these clubs we had, in the relegation scrap.
And my fourth is West Ham.
Absolute disaster.
Train wreck. I mean, how many are they going to break the record for goals conceded off corner kicks?
There are 7 already.
Yeah.
In 5 matches.
Yeah.
How do you do?
It's absurd.
Well, we'll check if Villa's coming up in the next match or two, they'll go a game, without one.
They won't give one up, but
they won't concede. Graham Potter, this is his swan song. After this, he's going to be down in the lower half of the championship managing.
Yeah.
Maybe even kind of upper half of League One. This is it for him. I don't see him recovering from this. They have major ownership issues ever since was it David Sullivan passed, and now you've got David Gold, and is it Karen Brady is the other owner. They are not good owners. If you look at the money table of owners, they are not on the high end.
Right.
They're running the club very poorly. And if you see all the things about who they've been speaking to, they talk to Nuno. I don't think they want Nuno. After seeing how Nuno lit that match and burnt the bridge leaving Forest, would you really want him in your side knowing he's going to do the same thing in 6 months?
No.
But what's worse is they're talking about, it's one of their former players, and I was reading it earlier. And he managed them before, too. We'll have to bring up the list of West Ham managers. I believe he's Croatian. Suter? No, it's not Suter. Alex is going to find it for us while he's doing that. But they're talking about having him as like an interim manager.
Was he the head man?
Bilic.
Slaven Bilic. Okay.
He's been in management for how long? I'm talking about bringing him back. And, I mean, the West Ham supporters are just in awe of what this could turn into.
Bilic is a one-season manager at almost every stop.
Yeah, right. And he was at West Ham before, and I think they did.
And he had 1 year West Brom, 1 year Beijing Go On, 1 year Watford, 1 year Al Fateh, 1 year.
Yeah,
everything's 1 year.
Mm-hmm. And this would fit the bill that they want, which is get us to the end of the season. Don't let us get relegated.
Yeah.
But they are poor all over the park. They spent a ridiculous amount of money on a new goalkeeper who is worse than the backup was. So now Areola is back in as a starter. That's how bad the goalkeepers they brought in. That's unheard of.
Sometimes you make a bad buy.
Yeah.
But again, rough start for them. Mm-hmm. Obviously, are your 4?
Obviously, it's West Ham and Wolves. I'm throwing Forest in there.
Yeah, they've been bad.
And this has been going on since the late summer when Nuno started acting up, and then he doesn't get along with director of football, and then the manager's, I don't talk to him that much, and it's just that then they fire him on the Monday after the international break. Why not do it before the international break and give yourself 2 weeks to find anybody? But then they bring in Ange, who is well known for not being able to set up teams to defend. So Ange Ball is going to be very interesting over the coming months to see if it's any different than what it was at Spurs, because they're not in a good spot right now, and with Europe looming and a bunch of these players not having to have done the rigors of the Premier League and European competition, this could get a little hairy for them. So you need to be careful. And I'm going to throw a surprise one in there for you, just so that we're not picking on everybody at the bottom. I'm throwing Newcastle in.
Fair. Underachieving.
3 draws out of the first 5. They've only scored 3 goals. I mean, at the end of the day, it's only 2 more than Villa, And they played 0-0 with Villa. The whole Isak disaster through the summer, I get it, they held out for big dollars, but they left themselves such a mountain. And now with the Champions League coming, It's going to be interesting to see how they do, because the last time they were in the Champions League, they fell away in the league, and I think they finished out of Europe completely.
They did.
So they're already behind the 8 ball in the league, not having even hit the Champions League yet. So something to keep an eye on.
Should we take a break and then come back with the rest of the pyramid?
Let's do it.
All right, we'll be back with more on the Corner Kick after this.
Azar Supermarket, 3131 Linden Street in Bethlehem. Locally owned and operated by George Azar. Stop by today and pick from the freshest produce, much of it grown right here at home in Pennsylvania. Peruse the meat counter for the finest cuts of chicken, beef, lamb, and halal products. Take a step to your right. It's a selection of olives and mezza and cheese and more. Azar's features a full lineup of products imported from the Mediterranean, including Lebanese olive oil and hard-to-find spices and herbs. Shop Azar's, 3131 Linden Street in Bethlehem, for great value.
We at Lifeline Screening have screened over 9 million people over 25 years. We identify your risk of stroke, cardiovascular disease, and other chronic illnesses. We use state-of-the-art ultrasound technology to look into your arteries to identify your plaque levels. During your screening, we examine the carotid arteries in the neck for plaque buildup that can lead to a stroke. We check your abdominal aorta for an aneurysm, a ballooning of this large artery in your belly which can rupture if it gets too big. We evaluate the pressures in your arms and ankles and calculate what is called an ankle brachial index. This is an indirect way to assess the flow in the arteries of legs and identify risks for more cardiovascular disease. We scan your shin bone to determine the density of the bone and derive risk for osteoporosis. And lastly, atrial fibrillation. If we detect anything that requires urgent attention, we will notify you immediately so you can contact your physician for follow-up. Screenings are simple, non-invasive, painless, and we have convenient locations throughout the United States. And of course, screenings provide peace of mind or early detection. Schedule your screening today.
Have you racked up over $15,000 in credit card debt? Do the collection calls ring nonstop? There's a solution to the situation the banks don't want you to know about. CuraDebt has over 20 years of experience and thousands of 5-star reviews. Call the CuraDebt Credit Solutions hotline today to see if you qualify. 877-835-0026. No obligation, 100% confidential. CuraDebt Credit Solutions. 877-835-0026. CuraDebt Credit Solutions now. 877-835-0026. 877-835-0026. Call today.
And we're back here on the Corner Kick on CWTAP. It's Alex Fidrashevsky and James Pepe with you. We're at X Golf today, 80 Kunkel Drive in Easton, right off the 25th Street exit of Route 22. You know, Tom was kind enough to donate a couple of gift cards for the raffle, so always appreciate him for CSC last week. Yeah,
always appreciate it. And I want to give a little shout out. Behind us on the big screen this week is Bethpage Black, I believe.
Yes, it is.
And this weekend, Ryder Cup. Always fun for me. My dad, not as big a fan. He just likes the regular tournaments, but I do enjoy the Ryder Cup. It's being played at Bethpage, and if you want to take a crack at what those players are going to, this is the place to come.
Yeah, you can come experience the frustration that I do in real time. Though I'm sure some of you at home are actually quite talented golfers. I'm just not one of them.
Yeah, and it's a great place to go. We've actually done the simulator here.
Yeah, it's fun.
It is. You know, you hit it into the screen. You watch it fly. You have little putting things that you do. It's really sharp how these simulators work. And it's just fun experience all around. And if you get to play a little bit of Bethpage, you know, pretend you're on the Ryder Cup. Channel it in. Bring a little trophy if you win.
You know which one's really tough here? And I can, like, you clearly have to be the best in the world to play it, is Oakmont.
Okay.
Like 500-yard par fours. That or Tom just set me up at the like the white tee all the way in the back on purpose, but
You're playing the pro tees.
that's right. Let's jump into the championship. No goals for the Yanks at the weekend. A little bit of the country match I saw. It was like 1980s Italian style.
They're playing, was it Leicester?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you think about it, it's two teams high in the table.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to lose. Better result for Coventry being away from home.
Yeah, and I think nothing to be concerned
Yeah.
about because Haji Wright has been hot.
Yeah, and Leicester a good side. I mean, they're going to be in the promotion chase too, and we do know Haji and Josh can't score every week, no matter how much we think they should. But
they're not Zlatan.
yeah, they are not Zlatan.
Not Zlatan. Wrexham, little turn the corner type of victory for them in the championship. 3 goals inside of 12 minutes to start the second half over Norwich.
Yeah, Wrexham definitely one of those sides needs a little time for the players to come together. Made some good purchases, and for the size of their club, big purchases, setting the transfer record a couple times, and with the such a big step up to some of these clubs that they're facing, it was always going to take a little time. It's not that they've been outplayed all over the park in the previous matches, but good to see them get one over the line. I think they'll knock on. I think they'll be lower mid-table when all is said and done. I think that they're going to have too much to be in the relegation scrap.
Yeah, and I think we talked about this 2 weeks ago, too, with them as they were kind of in their woes. This is the toughest one, right?
Yeah.
It's easy to go from the cash infusion in the conference to League 2 to League 1, even to go from League 1 to the championship.
Yeah.
Staying in the championship and then getting out of it is the hardest one.
Yeah. Well, Wrexham supporters would argue the 15 years spent in the conference was the hardest one.
They just needed the right investor.
I'm sure they would take 15 years in the championship if it was push came to shove.
Yeah, I think they'd be all right with that. Things are still not so hot in Sheffield. Sheffield United, another loss. 1-0 result to Charlton Athletic. They are now 0-6-0.
Yeah, much better performance. Chris Wilder came in, and what's the first thing when you're a manager coming in and your side is leaking goals? Put some steel in the defense, and he did. And they gave one up, couldn't get anything at the other end. But I think for them, 1-0 on that first match, it's a little, you hate to say it, but they got to find a little bit of a moral victory from it, find the positives, and push on. I think Wilder was going to be happy with a 0-0 and just getting a point on the board. So that's what they have to focus on for upcoming.
Yeah, I think they need to give, he'll get some time. And obviously going back to him, I think.
Yeah, we made a mistake.
Please come bail us out. And Wednesday, they did defeat Portsmouth 2-0 away at Fratton Park. That gives them a win. But again, that they are in such financial peril that it's going to be a long haul for them to try to avoid the drop. And I think United, they're in the same boat. But I think United's path to safety now that Wilder is back might actually be a little easier.
Yeah, it's a little easier. Wednesday, everybody knew would have their work cut out for them. I don't think anybody saw what would happen with Sheffield United. Listen, there have been some clubs who have started out in rough shape, and I'm going back in my brain about 2 seasons. And I'm trying to remember who it was. It came through the play. It might have been Ipswich Town. But somebody came in, took over. The club were like 22nd or 23rd, flew up the table, went to the playoff, and won it. Won promotion. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. But he'll get that ship straightened out. Yeah, Wednesday are in far more turmoil. I think they're going to be lacking pretty good all season. Seeing Derby County down there, Watford. Again, just not too surprising, with some of these teams. But it's so early because they
46 games.
Yeah, they got 40 left. So there is a haul to go before, the only team that really is a little bit off the pace, Sheffield United. Another win for Sheffield Wednesday, and they're out of the relegation zone.
Right.
So it's fairly close, but it's also Sheffield United in 2 matches can close the gap or be out of the relegation
Right, get 6
zone
points in
themselves.
there, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a long way to play.
Yeah.
League One, Bradford City. Hot start for them. That continued 3-1 against Cardiff.
Yes.
Top of the table battle down there in League One. Cardiff, former soon-to-be club of Ethan Horvath.
Probably. But
I mean, the loan, at least he's on the pitch.
right.
And yeah, maybe it'll become permanent.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we talked about was just making sure for him he was getting playing time. Even if it's in a relegation scrap, he's playing. He played pretty well from the accounts I read. He had, I think, about 4 or 5 saves. So good day for him between the sticks, and a not so good day for his parent club.
No, not at all. League Two, only thing worth noting, Gillingham remain undefeated through 9 as we approach that 1/3 mark down in that level at
Yeah.
League Two. 3-1 against Newport County. They just keep churning along.
It's a good start. Again, there's so much to play. We'll see
Where are we in April?
when the clocks change, and then where are you heading into the Christmas period? Between the beginning of November and that mid-December, that tells you a lot about who your likely contenders are going to be. And then after Christmas and New Year, you find out who fell away pretty quickly, and then it's a race to the finish.
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll hit the continent, including the Champions League and the start of the Europa League coming up. And we'll make that a little bit longer segment. We'll be back after this on the Corner Kick.
Superior Hardware, located at 400 South 3rd Street in Bangor, is your go-to source for home improvement supplies in the Slate Belt. With a variety of tools, screws, nuts, bolts, and more, Superior Hardware is the place to shop for your hardware needs. Superior Hardware offers a full line of Milwaukee tools, the highest quality power tools available. In addition to their in-store offerings, Superior Hardware ships nationwide via their website, www.superiorhardwarebangor.com. So you don't even have to live in the Slate Belt or drive to Bangor to sample all that Superior Hardware has to offer. Superior Hardware is open Monday to Friday from 7 till 5, Saturday from 7:30 to 4, and Sunday from 9 to 2. Call them at 610-588-3205 or stop by their location at 400 South 1st Street in Bangor to jumpstart your home improvement projects today. That's Superior Hardware, 400 South 1st Street in Bangor. It's Queen's Nutritional Products, 1450 Pennsylvania Avenue in Allentown. The Novak family, still the proprietors. For a wide variety of high-quality vitamins, supplements, and herbs, shop Queen's Nutritional Products. From vitamin A to zinc and everything in between, the Queen Bee and her busy bees on staff can assist you. Queen's Nutritional Products also has a full line of dry and roasted nuts, dried fruits, and more. That historic nut hut still producing the best nuts and dried fruits in the Lehigh Valley. Queen's Nutritional Products also offers a variety of natural soaps, shampoos, toothpaste, and more because what you put on your body is as important as what you put in it. Queen's Nutritional Products is open Monday through Wednesday and Saturday from 9 until 6, Thursday and Friday from 9 till 7, as well as Sunday from 11 till 4. Seniors get 10% off every day on many items in the store. Visit them online at queensnutrition.shop, or better yet, stop by Queen's Nutritional Products at 1450 Pennsylvania Avenue in Allentown. X-Golf, located just off the 25th Street exit of Route 22 in Easton, offers a premier golf simulation experience. With some of the most realistic indoor golf simulators you've ever seen, X-Golf is the premier place to work on your game before you hit the courses around the Lehigh Valley. If it's driving that needs work, putting that needs practice, or that pesky short game that haunts you, X-Golf is the perfect spot to perfect your swing. Bring your clubs, borrow one of our in-house sets, big up your friends, and come on down to X Golf for a fun time. It's always 72 and sunny at X Golf, and double bogeys are welcome, so you don't have to worry about a cart full of golfers behind you on hole 7. To schedule your tee time, call X Golf at 484-250-0391. That's 484-250-0391. X Golf, 80 Kunkel Drive in Easton, right off the 25th Street exit of Route 22.
And we're back here on the Corner Kick. Alex and JJ at X Golf, 80 Kunkel Drive in Easton. Time to talk a little bit about the Continent Serie A, the Rome Derby, always a special event.
Yes.
Nice goal from Pellegrini, and then a host of red cards late.
Yeah, Lazio, I guess, decided, well, we're definitely not going to score, so let's just get a bunch of our players sent off.
The one red card was nasty.
Oh, the tackle?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Guendouzi got sent off, I think, at the very end.
That was at the very end, yeah. The tackle was really nasty.
Yeah. That was a bad one. Referee did a good job at getting him sent off. Typical Rome Derby. I mean, it was tight. Roma gets the goal. Lazio couldn't find anything in the match, and fair play to Roma.
Christian Pulisic, 2 goals for AC Milan. This is the form we want to see out of him as we start getting closer by the week to World Cup 26.
This is why he took summer off. Come in, batteries charged, hit the ground running, make sure you're fit. He's doing well. Those 2 goals put him past Clint Dempsey. He is the all-time leading American goal scorer, having played with the club in one of Europe's top 5 leagues.
Thus begins the question already. Could he be number 1 on the Yanks in Europe of all time list? I'm not saying we do that list now, but could he be in contention if you were going to put a top 10 together or a top 5? And there's a long way to go, but I would put that out there. Could he be number 1?
He's in the mix. Might need a little more longevity.
But that's it. You see where he's at when he's 32, 33.
Yeah,
but
he's on track to be that player. Yes.
Unsung way. You know who I would put probably in my top 5? Tim Ream.
Whew.
I would strongly consider Tim Ream as one of the top 5 Americans to ever play in Europe based on consistency over a long period of time.
Man, that's a tough one. I mean, if you're putting him in, then Jay Demerit's in the conversation. But I look older. I look at McBride. I look at Dempsey. I look at Thomas Dooley. I look at Ernie Stewart.
All in the mix.
Yeah. And
DeMarcus Beasley?
I think I put Gio. Not Gio. Claudio. Gio's dad, Claudio. I put Claudio in there.
Gio among the biggest busts?
He's got another bite at the cherry, so you got to see. It's down to injuries for him, not just that he's a bad player. He's just injured all the time.
Well, I said he can't stay healthy. Yeah. It's not that he's a bust because he stinks. He's a bust. He would be a bust because of consistent injuries.
Yeah.
Yep.
Think you could make a little argument for Joe Max Moore at Everton. Wijnaldum, again,
he had a good run in Germany.
Yeah, through those other divisions. So, there's a good line of players in there.
I think you could separate.
Really have to go through, and then you have to look at the keepers.
I would almost say I'd separate outfield players from keepers.
Yeah,
because if we did keepers, I'd probably have 4 of the 5 would be goalkeepers.
You got Casey, you got
Howard,
Brad, you got Timmy.
3.
Yeah.
Hahnemann could be in there.
He could be in there, but he would definitely be the stretch, I would say.
Would you put Brad Guzan over Hahnemann?
Ooh, I think it's a good discussion to have between the 2 of them.
Next week.
Well, we can see.
Line up the stats on the screen. Let the viewers decide.
Yeah.
Who would be your...
Yeah, because they both had good seasons, and they both had seasons where the clubs were awful, and I think they were both relegated once. So, interesting.
Fiorentina off to a bit of a rocky start as well. They lost at the weekend again. Rocco's got some magic to figure out there.
Yeah, very, very tough start for him. When you look at the start of the season, Cagliari and Torino away, they draw both. You're saying, all right, not bad away draws, especially Torino. That's always a tricky one. But then they go back to Florence, and they get the champions come to town and take them to pieces. It was 3-0 just after halftime. And then Fiorentina faces again at home a tough Como side. And they've got their act together. So not an easy run. They get Pisa away next weekend. If they don't come away with points from there, the alarm bells will sound because, Roma are on the horizon and a couple of those other sides that you're going to look at them and go, I don't think they're getting any points.
Another win for Napoli.
Yes, a good win. Pisa, they defeated Pisa. Pisa are a very plucky promotion side. They didn't come up here to make the numbers. They've run a couple sides close. It's a very good win again. Conte has his team humming along. Now the Champions League is going to start up, so now we're going to see for them a little bit of, where the rubber meets the road. Do they have it in them to defend their league title while making what should be a serious play, in Europe? I know that, they went to Manchester City in the Champions League, lost. They had a guy sent off 20 minutes into the match. De Bruyne had to be substituted off. He was in bits. You could see how upset he was because it was his homecoming. But that's an extraordinary. And they played one of the Pot 1 teams away. Okay, it's a throwaway match for them. Now it's time to get serious in Europe.
We'll get to Champions League a little later in this segment. Flip over to Ligue 1 now. You love some Ligue 1.
Ligue 1.
The French, yes. we love Ligue 1. Some escargot on the Seine. Yeah.
And I'm telling you.
You stop in the store, you get your little baguette. Maybe some fromage.
A macaroon.
And some vin.
Yeah.
Sit down on the Seine.
And some pan.
Have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
Yeah.
I could settle in and tuck in on the banks of the Seine.
Yeah.
With a nice little bottle of vino and some fromage.
Yeah. Get the job done.
So Nice against Brest, 4-1 in favor of Brest. Mm-hmm. This was the one you were looking for.
Yeah. Like you said, it was a tough start for him. Out of the blocks, but it was a Champions League side last season. I know some of the players got sold, but they were in that playoff stage. It was just a matter of time, before they got going. And 4-1 to Nice is a good result.
Distracted early.
Yeah, yes, they were. Nice were distracted.
Monaco, Lyon, Strasbourg. I'm going to keep it together. I'm not Micah.
Yeah, we are. No Micah.
No Micah.
No Micah. Thierry.
What's wrong with you? Monaco, Lyon, Strasbourg, all in this pack trying to hold serve with PSG.
Yes.
A little help today on taping day.
Yes.
As Olympique Marseille took down the Parisian Giants 1-0. I still don't think they'll hold up over the season, and PSG will walk away with the title. Probably with some time to spare.
I differ.
You're going to disagree with me?
I differ.
Okay.
The Club World Cup and the 13 days off is going to catch up with them. It has to at some point. It's the shortest turnaround I've ever heard of.
Well, there was no 2 weeks, like you said.
Yeah, and I cannot see them trying to defend both titles and doing it successfully, be it Ligue 1 and the Champions League. It's early doors. They're 5 matches in. All 4 clubs are on 12 points. Monaco top of the table, but there's blood in the water, and Monaco, Lyon, and Strasbourg sense it. And
who do you think's the best equipped to make the run across the season? Monaco, maybe Lyon. I don't think Strasbourg can keep it up.
You wouldn't think so, but they did so well last year that it's not new for them now.
That's a good point.
Lyon had the financial trouble, sorted it out. They're okay. They're firing on all cylinders. And Monaco, you never know season to season with them. Oh, one season up, they're down in like 9th, and now this season here they are top of the table. So it's going to be very interesting. Some of this will depend on what happens on the European nights, who gets knocked out, who's still in the competition playing deeper and deeper. And I think that, along with the injuries at PSG that are bound to come up, those will determine the title.
If you're PSG right now, which one's more important? Defending the Champions League and trying to go as deep as you can in that tournament? Can you make it back to the final and pull that magic again? Or is it more important to top the domestic table? I mean, for me, you know where the money lies, but which one's more important because let's face it, for them, the money flows, right?
Yeah.
It automatically comes in from their ownership. It's a bottomless pit.
Yeah.
But which one's more important?
I don't think one is more important than the other. I think they're both equally as important. You never want to loosen your grip on the domestic. And they've got a grip similar to Bayern.
Yeah.
They'll lose the occasional title, but you still never want to lose it. They finally got to the top of the mountain, last May when they won the Champions League. It is so hard to defend the title. Really, only Real Madrid does it. So I think knockout stages, not having to play in that round of 32, I'll call it. When they have those the
bye
16,
helps, yeah.
You want to get into top 8. You want those extra days in January because they're going to need them. And then it's all luck of the draw. You'll look at it and go, holy cow, we have, Madrid, and, if we win that, then we have somebody, and it could be the nightmare road. You just don't know. But I don't think for them, it's because they've won it. I don't think if they hadn't won it last year, it would be all in Champions League. But now I think it's they want both. Now the greed sets in. We want both.
I think they're capable of, but will the legs, like you said, will the legs hold up when, again, that 13 days off? And I remember this was probably 10 plus years ago, listening to XM, Sirius XM FC, and Harks was on. And he was talking about the cadence of when he was in Europe, of like shutting himself down to let his body recover, and then slowly starting to ramp himself back up before he got on the plane to go back to, I think it was Scotland he was playing in, or England.
Oh, he was in England.
England.
Yeah.
And he said, he was like, I'd finish. I think it was Harks. I want to say it was Harks, where he was like, we'd finish. I'd come back to the States. And he was basically like, for 2 weeks, I didn't lift a weight. I didn't run. I didn't sprint. I didn't stretch.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, I sat down and did nothing.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I'd start preparing to go back over and take that first week, get on the plane, and then basically he was back into the training. But that's like, it's 21 days of downtime.
Yeah.
And PSG they didn't even get that.
They probably gave the players 3.
Couple days off,
Do you remember who Harks played for?
Sheffield Wednesday.
Yes, you got it. I was like, hey, we talked about him earlier.
Yeah. Had to go back in time capsule on that one. I feel like I remember some of those guys' clubs better than where these guys bounce around now. Do you know where Aaron Johansson is right now?
Is he back in Iceland?
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been in Iceland for a little while. He's in Reykjavik, yeah. More on Yanks later.
Yeah.
La Liga. Not really, I don't want to talk about the games. There's a story from this weekend.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think let's talk about the story. Marcus Rashford benched for being 2 minutes late to team meeting on morning of the Getafe match. Scored a goal at the midweek.
Yep.
Right? Champions League arrives at 9:32. Hansi Flick, zero tolerance policy for lateness. Be on time.
Yep.
Right? Be on time.
Yeah,
You are making millions and millions of dollars. Be on time.
Yeah, and who was it? Tom Coughlin. Coach's time. If you're on time for the meeting, you're late. You got to be here 5 minutes before that. That's kind of what it is. No, it's good management from Flick.
You can take the tram in Barcelona.
And the other thing too is, I mean,
Have a driver.
I understand Rashford scored midweek, but he's not near the best player on that squad.
No, he's not essential. Yeah.
So it's, hey, yeah, I'm putting the marker down. Good for the manager for doing it, and it's up to Rashford to be better. He's got to be better.
Yeah, and I think it should be a good wake up call early on and for him this season.
I'll chalk it up too. You know, he's still not familiar with the city. Hit a little pocket of traffic he wasn't anticipating. Marcus, leave 10 minutes earlier.
Yeah, and that's what I'm going to say. With him walking in 2 minutes late, it could be a red light.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately, I know we're, like, ragging on him right now, but it could be a red light.
Yeah.
If he walked in 22 minutes late,
Yeah.
and you had this third cup of coffee, and maybe you're caught reading the newspaper, and
Yeah, but be better, especially on match day.
yeah, be there, be up, be early, be ready to go.
Yeah.
Last league I want to touch on is in Portugal. There was a nice presser from the gift that keeps on giving in soccer, Jose Mourinho.
Yes.
Says he's not at Benfica to wage war on Porto and Sporting. Always. Just a master with the words.
He is
and then he went on this whole thing about like the people at Porto will not be happy. But that was a time, and the time has now ended. But it was a beautiful time, and maybe it will be a beautiful time again. But it is not a beautiful time right now, kind of thing. And I always love when he did that. Like when he went to Roma, right? He's like, "This is a beautiful city, and we'll have a beautiful romance together. And one day we will break up, but we will look back and say it was a good time." Like,
Yeah, and I mean, Porto is the club that he made his bones with.
Yeah,
You know, won the whatever it was called then, but it was the Europa League equivalent when they beat Celtic in with the silver goal. Back then.
When he apparently he spoke to the executives from both of those clubs this week.
Yeah.
He spoke to Villas Boas and Sporting, and said, like, I'm not here to go to the end with you guys. Like, it's a rivalry, but
Yeah. No, he's there for a little bit, and then I think the one after that is going to be the Portugal job.
yeah, I think that'll be kind of the crescendo, and that'll be the end for him.
Yeah, I think
he'll be the one to
he's
take
there.
the first Portugal side in 25 years without Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah. No, maybe. With the way he keeps going, you never know. He could wait till he's 60.
for the money.
Man.
There are about 100 million reasons a year for that man to keep his body fat at about 6.5%.
Oh yeah, but the thing is, I mean, he's fit. He's still really good.
Yeah.
You know, so good for him.
He'll continue playing, and I assume he'll stay in Saudi for the duration. Just like Messi will be here till the end.
Yep.
Like I don't think either one of them will end like home. Like I don't see him going back to finish his career in Portugal. Like, and if he does, it's going to be at one of the big three. Like, I don't think he's going to go back to Nacional in Madeira, where he's from, unless he buys them. Which,
well, he could
do that about 5 times over already. But it's the same thing. I don't think Messi goes back to Rosario and finishes his career.
What is he? 36.
37, I think. 36, 37.
37. He's going to sign a new 2-year deal.
39. Does he play 1 year?
He can go back, play 1 season there. I think he's going to play one. In Argentina.
And then the question is, does he do it at home? Does he go back to Rosario, or is he going to River or Boca?
Yeah. No,
it's going to be at home.
He'll go home. Yeah.
I could see him doing that. Probably see Messi doing that more than I could see Ronaldo.
Well, I've heard of Rosario. Nacional, I was like, you didn't play in Colombia.
Well done. Club of the week. Let's dive into Champions League a little bit now. We're only, it's one segment in out of, what do we play? 8 in Champions League, right? Any results that jumped out at you in the first go here?
Actually, the one that got Jose the job, Benfica losing to Karabag, that was, I thought, very interesting.
It's a good team, though.
It is, but I get it. If they were away, Benfica were away, okay.
Losing at home to them,
Losing at home is the surprise for me. Frankfurt just smashing Galatasaray. Did not see that coming. Brugge with a very good win as well. And I think PSV losing at home. I think the other ones. They all
Juve
make
Dortmund
sense.
was fun.
It was fun.
I watched
yeah.
that. Like
Oh,
it was a great match.
Oh, yeah. Fun, but a draw, not a surprise. 4-4 draw, surprise. But
Draw very Italian.
yeah. But 4-4.
No.
What the heck? What went on?
Oh, there was a whole. Did you watch the game?
I didn't get to. No.
Oh, there was a whole lot that happened within the
Yeah.
last like 5 minutes. And all the people in the rich seats left on the sides.
Yeah.
And like, so the only people that were left at this point, because it was 4-2, were like all the hooligans behind the goal. They were going nuts. But I mean, two great goals for them to draw level. But give me that every week. I mean, you have Inter. And you have a wild one, and then you come in, you play Dortmund, and you have another wild one. Like, can you be the gift that keeps on giving, Juve? Like, I like this new Italian soccer thing. Like, we're playing this free flowing style now. This sure beats the hell out of when we were growing up watching on Rai on a Sunday morning, and it would be like Crotone taking on Udinese, and it would be 0-0. And like you said last week, there'd be one shot the whole game. The entire game would be played between 35 yard and 35 yard. Like, we wouldn't even get close to the box.
Yeah.
This is great. I love it. Give me this all the time. Like,
yeah, but
Inter also scored more than one goal.
yeah.
Like, Italy is scoring goals now.
Away to Ajax, which again, not an easy place to go. And Ajax and PSV played a good draw this weekend. So, it was a good first match day. And it's funny because when they made this change to this league format, it was so disappointing for some. But I just remember the way they had manipulated the groups and how the draw could be conducted. You usually knew the two sides who were going through in almost every group all the time.
Yeah, I think this was better.
This is...
At the beginning, I wasn't a fan of it because I'm like traditionalist. Why should we change this? But then when like you mentioned, I started looking at the pot thing. I'm like, oh, this is like they basically rigged the pots. So pot 1 is everybody they want, and pot 2 is the last like 4 that they want.
Plus a few others.
And they changed it around where it used to be based on the coefficient. Then it was like, it was based on the team coefficient.
Yeah.
It bumped out some of these other teams.
The first pot is it's definitely the champions of certain leagues, and this and that. The defending, the team that goes in as champions. Then there's room for a couple others. And then it does go to some coefficient, but it evens out the rest. And, I mean, like, they were in Europe for 40 years, and they finished in the top 8, playing Celtic in a wild one on the final match day of the league phase. So I'm looking, it's definitely way better. The knockout stage, kind of the knockout stages in the end, but they did good. They did good.
Karabakh in the next cycle, which is a week from now, could be 2-0. They're home to Copenhagen.
Yeah.
6 points for the Azerbaijanis would be a wrench in the whole thing.
And
early.
now that you said that, Copenhagen's going to go there and roll them like 3-1 or something.
Yeah,
Karabakh will have somebody sent off
the commentator's jinx.
Yeah, you put it on them. You
Yeah,
put the old Maloik on them.
I put the hex on, didn't I? Europa League starts this week as well. Europa Conference is still 1 week away, so we could get into that a little bit next week. With the Europa League games coming up on Thursday, taking a look here, Aston Villa gets going against Bologna.
Yeah,
not an easy task.
It's not. They played in the Champions League, both sides, and they played each other last season in the league phase. It was at Villa Park. Villa won the match. It was a very hospitable atmosphere, a lot of fun, no issues. That when the draw happened again, you see, on X, the admins from Bologna, we can't wait to come back. And, the Villa admins are like, you guys were great last time. We look forward to host you. So it's going to be a great atmosphere in Birmingham come Thursday. 0-0.
So Bologna will play Italian soccer.
Even if they don't, Villa's not scoring.
No, they're not. No, you're right. I actually think Bologna could be a little more daring going forward right now.
They
Or will that be the day that Ollie Watkins figures it out?
So I don't care who figures it out.
Well, right now, Matty Cash is your leading goal scorer on this season. It's not good when your outside back is the leading
The Polish
scorer.
Cafu.
His sister's on
CBS
Galazzo. Yeah. Anna's one of the hosts.
Because she interviewed him a few times after Champions League matches last season, and he came on I think one morning.
Yeah.
And they did a little bit, the two of them. It was nice.
Nice plays Roma this week. That's good. I actually like the Europa League. There's some interesting matchups there. Like Braga Feyenoord, has the potential to be one of those ping pong games up and down the field.
Feyenoord's leading. They're
leading the
Eredivisie.
Eredivisie. Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's definitely some good matches out there. You'll get some clubs you maybe haven't heard of too often, but there is quality there.
Well, I've heard of all of them, but
yeah, but folks at home, probably haven't.
Have they heard of Young Boys?
I was just looking at that, and I was going to say they probably haven't heard of Young Boys, or
Do you know there's a team in the Netherlands called Quick Boys?
No, but I know that they have the Go Ahead Eagles.
They have Go Ahead
and
Eagles,
they're
yeah.
playing the football club formerly known as Steaua Bucharest.
I think that needs to be a story. I think we should do a segment, maybe in a week or two. We'll do the segment on the artist formerly known as Steaua Bucharest.
We'll do it before one of the match days.
Okay. Maybe the October 2nd match day, so that gives us a week to or do you want to go? Let's go further out. That gives us a month to prepare.
Yeah. Let's take a look
because
at the schedule and how they're doing. We can pick one.
This Gigi Beckley story is this is not a 5-minute segment.
Yeah.
This is a half an hour segment on the chaos that unfolded there. I think we could do a segment on Romanian football in general. It is wild what goes on there.
This is because I know this is a story.
Like,
so what I want us to be able to take this couch here and turn it around
and just sit on the couch,
and you kind of like have the Masterpiece Theater.
That would be great.
Book, and I'm kind of all snuggled up as you're telling the tale.
In 2006, when their first financial improprieties happened, or whatever it was, you know, yeah, very interesting story to what's gone on with FCSB, as they are now legally called by, as far as UEFA is concerned, they are FCSB. There is another Steaua Bucharest now. Who is, I think they are like officially the lineage club.
Oh boy.
So yeah, that's a whole nother ball of wax. We did some thoughts on the league versus group format. Talk a little bit about the Yanks right now.
Okay.
That are in Europe. Tillman, goal for Leverkusen, needed it.
Yep.
Gets him going in Germany.
Yeah. And that was a good move for him. We talked about it before the season started. What would it do? Because that was when we were talking about should players leave their clubs where they're playing in a World Cup year.
He took a risk.
It makes sense for some, doesn't make sense for other. I think we agreed it was going to be a good move for him. And so far, so good. You know, always good to get off the mark, especially early in the season within those first 5 games. So he'll have some confidence going forward. And, you know, it's good to see him hitting the back of the net. Just another headache for Pochettino that we want him to have.
Yes.
We want our strikers scoring goals. You know, and I'll say the forwards, you know, the attacking
the wingers and all that.
You want to phrase them.
Yeah.
We want them scoring goals. We want him to have to try and bring them all in.
And right now they are.
Yeah. So great for Tillman.
In the middle of the park, Tanner Tessman, game winner for Lyon. And we talked about him last month when we were going through the friendly, who's in, who's out, who could be somebody for 26. Really high on him having a chance to make 26. This is now year 2, 3, starting in Ligue 1, 2 or 3. I think it puts some pressure again on other players, and he should be in the mix for that last couple of roster spots for me. I think he's a good defensive insurance policy. Yeah,
and here's the thing. One injury to, say, Tyler Adams that occurs, and he's not on one of the last few spots.
No, now he's locked.
He's pushing for possibly starting. So it's good. I mean, this is the time. this is the season. This is when everybody's got to find their form, fire on all cylinders. You're not going to keep it up over 36 games or 34 games, during the season, but you got to have your good pockets and never completely fall out of form.
Yeah.
Just be consistent. Find that flash. The goal scorers need to score goals. The midfielders need to be chipping in, setting up goals. If they're on the defensive side, they need to be protecting and playing well in front, and just do everything to stay on the pitch.
Let's take a break. Come back. Club of the Week on Corner Kick.
Azar Supermarket, 3131 Linden Street in Bethlehem. Locally owned and operated by George Azar. Stop by today and pick from the freshest produce, much of it grown right here at home in Pennsylvania. Peruse the meat counter for the finest cuts of chicken, beef, lamb, and halal products. Take a step to your right. It's a selection of olives and mezza and cheese and more. Azar's features a full lineup of products imported from the Mediterranean, including Lebanese olive oil and hard-to-find spices and herbs. Shop Azar's, 3131 Linden Street in Bethlehem, for great value. It's Queen's Nutritional Products, 1450 Pennsylvania Avenue in Allentown. The Novak family, still the proprietors. For a wide variety of high-quality vitamins, supplements, and herbs, shop Queen's Nutritional Products. From vitamin A to zinc and everything in between, the Queen Bee and her busy bees on staff can assist you. Queen's Nutritional Products also has a full line of dry and roasted nuts, dried fruits, and more. That historic nut hut still producing the best nuts and dried fruits in the Lehigh Valley. Queen's Nutritional Products also offers a variety of natural soaps, shampoos, toothpaste, and more, because what you put on your body is as important as what you put in it. Queen's Nutritional Products is open Monday through Wednesday and Saturday from 9 until 6, Thursday and Friday from 9 till 7, as well as Sunday from 11 till 4. Seniors get 10% off every day on many items in the store. Visit them online at queensnutrition.shop, or better yet, stop by Queen's Nutritional Products at 1450 Pennsylvania Avenue in Allentown.
We at Lifeline Screening have screened over 9 million people over 25 years. We identify your risk of stroke, cardiovascular disease, and other chronic illnesses. We use state-of-the-art ultrasound technology to look into your arteries to identify your plaque levels. During your screening, we examine the carotid arteries in the neck for plaque buildup that can lead to a stroke. We check your abdominal aorta for an aneurysm, a ballooning of this large artery in your belly which can rupture if it gets too big. We evaluate the pressures in your arms and ankles and calculate what is called an ankle brachial index. This is an indirect way to assess the flow in the arteries of legs and identify risks for more cardiovascular disease. We scan your shin bone to determine the density of the bone and derive risk for osteoporosis. And lastly, atrial fibrillation. If we detect anything that requires urgent attention, we will notify you immediately so you can contact your physician for follow-up. Screenings are simple, non-invasive, painless, and we have convenient locations throughout the United States. And of course, screenings provide peace of mind or early detection. Schedule your screening today.
All right, we're back here on the Corner Kick X Golf 80 Kunkel Drive in Easton. Alex and JJ. This is the fun segment. It's Club of the Week. And I really enjoy this trip now. This is something that I look forward to every week. I get to do some great research. Mm-hmm. Put my history degree to use. Major in history, 20 years in broadcasting. I don't know what happened there, but
whatever works.
All right, so my Club of the Week is Worcester City in England. Worcester City. They are the GOATs.
All right.
They were founded September 9th, 1902. It's a great day, September 9th. Might be the greatest day in the history of days. Also happens to be my birthday.
I wasn't going to say it.
Founded 85 years before I was born. They play at the Six Ways Stadium. It's a 12,000-seat stadium. They rent the local professional rugby ground. They've been exploring a new permanent home on the northern end of the city now for several years. Let's get into the history. They were originally the Worcester Rovers, and they took over the Berwick Rangers place in the Birmingham District League following their liquidation in 1902 and rebranded as Worcester City.
Okay.
They used to play at a place called the Pitchcroft, which was the local horse racing course.
Yep.
Until 1905. Apparently there was a pasture out back, and that's where they played their home matches. And they have spent the vast majority of their history in the local Birmingham and District League.
Okay.
Which I had never heard of prior to this. Occasional appearances in the Southern League and in the Conference North. They were relegated from the conference in 2016-2017. They now play in the Southern Premier League Division Central. It is the 7th tier of football in England. And I, of course, did some digging.
Yes.
The leading all-time scorer is John Inglis. He was born in Fife in 1947, began his career with Glenthrows Athletic.
And where is Fife?
It's in Scotland.
Scotland.
His most notable time was 3 seasons with Aston Villa as a reserve player from 1965 to 1968. He made 3 appearances.
There you. Well, if you're playing in the Birmingham District Leagues, you're right there.
And he was 18 at the time when he signed with Aston Villa. He signed with Worcester City, from Crewe in 1970, had a really good 2 years, and then moved on to Hereford, as Hereford was able to pay him professionally. They didn't have to find him a job as a janitor or a maintenance worker or create some fake job like Bethlehem Steel did for all their soccer players. He returned the city in 1972, and it's really an interesting story. The president of City, George Good, arranged to employ him at the Bradford and Bingley Building Society. So they got him a job at a construction company to bring him back into the fold. He retired in the late 1970s after a head injury and spent his retirement first as a manager at Bradford and Bingley, and then he became a financial consultant in Leicester.
Wow.
He finished his career with 189 goals, scored between 1970 and 1977. From what I understand, he is still living.
Nice.
The appearance leader is a man named Bob McEwen. He played 596 matches from 1959 to 1975, so he was a teammate of Inglis.
Okay.
Little is available about who he was, what he did after soccer, and if he's still alive at this point. I was unfortunately not able to find anything about Bob McEwen specifically. He was mentioned in a couple of articles about the club as the all-time leading appearance man, but nothing else.
Okay.
So there you have Worcester City.
Worcester City. All right.
Look them up. Send us a kit, Worcester City.
So when we do this segment, usually, as we were just talking before we came back from break, Alex sends me kind of the rundown and puts his club in to make sure that I don't replicate the club selected, because somehow we would find a way to do that.
Absolutely. It would happen at some point if we didn't.
But having said that, my club is a secret. So Alex does not know what is coming with this one.
I like it. I didn't know who it was last week.
Yep.
The Villa, I was able to surmise that we were going to go that way.
Yeah, well, we did
we agreed.
The first one we said we're doing
own.
our the clubs we support.
Who do we got?
So for this one,
Here, I can't look at the computer either.
I am going across the Irish Sea.
Ooh. Are you in the North or the Republic?
Oh, they've played in both.
Oh, I
Derry
think Derry City.
Yes. Football Club.
I love it. All right, let's go. Give the history of Derry City.
Derry City Football Club, founded in 1928. Known as the Candy Stripes or the Foil Siders. Candy Stripes for their kit, which is... I'll get into the kit in a little bit. The Foil Siders because of the river foil that is where Derry's located. Their ground is the Brandywell Stadium, Derry, Northern Ireland.
Yes.
It seats 6,242 supporters. The club is supporter owned. And it was granted entry into the Irish League. So when you hear Irish League, that is the League of Northern Ireland in 1929. Since Derry is in Northern Ireland, they played there many years. But Derry, if you are familiar with the history of Ireland, the Republic, the Northern Ireland, and its allegiance to the Crown, and the whole sectarianism that went on between the Protestants and the Catholics, you know that Derry was one of the major locations of violence during the Troubles. Because of that, the area around their ground saw some of the worst violence during that time period because it was in a Republican stronghold.
Okay.
So due to these issues, in 1971, they were forced to move from their ground 30 miles away for the season. In 1972, Derry withdrew from the Irish League. And the perception is that they were forced to leave by the authorities. So very interesting period there. While they were out of the league, 13 years, they were out. It was considered that they were playing in the wilderness. Basically,
So were they in a league or were they just playing friendlies?
Saturday morning league.
Okay.
I mean, they were just whatever the local Saturday.
They were
kind
part of
public,
it.
They were in it.
Kind of like our team will be in.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So for 13 years they toiled, and finally they sought readmission to the Irish League. They applied. However, when they applied, they wanted to use Brandywell Stadium. Because of that, so it was it was the mid 1980s when they reapplied. Again, still all the troubles are going on. And the Irish League rejected them, would not permit them back in. So after, I guess, a lot of internal consultations, in 1985, Derry applied to join the reorganized League of Ireland. League of Ireland is the league in the Republic of Ireland.
Okay.
And they again applied with Brandywell as its home. To do that, because there is a league in the country they are in, they needed special dispensation from the IFA. So the Irish Football Association is the Northern Ireland Association, where the FAI, the Football Association of Ireland, is the Republic. They also needed that special dispensation from FIFA. They were granted, and they were admitted into the new First Division of the League of Ireland in the Republic. A little part is, if you look at Derry on certain maps, they are, depending on where the map is or from or who made it, you will hear Londonderry.
Yes.
That is the Northern Ireland, and the side loyal to the British Crown, say Londonderry. Brandywell was in the Free Derry section during the Troubles, which is where the Catholics were, and with the allegiance to the Republic of Ireland, who thought the entire island should be associated as Irish and not with the British. The club went through, some good times, some bad times. However, they were expelled from the League of Ireland in 2009 due to massive debts. However,
A wild history.
yeah. However, a new Derry City rose from the ashes, and they were readmitted back into the First Division in 2010. The club colors. Their first kit. Would you like to take a guess?
Purple.
They donned the claret and blue of Aston Villa.
There you go.
They've had a couple others in between, but they settled on red and white stripes with black shorts. That's why the candy stripes are there. They're the red and white stripe. Honors, they have been champions of Northern Ireland, including 1964-65. They were twice champions of the League of Ireland, 88-89 and 96-97. They finished runners-up in 2022 and 2023. They couldn't get over the line.
Yeah.
They've won the League of Ireland Cup 11 times. Their most recent trophy was the FAI Cup. They've won it 6 times, and including 2022. Derry City Football Club.
Well done. That was a good choice.
Yeah.
And there's a great history behind it too.
Yeah. Yep, because I when I was looking through, I was looking at Ireland. I was looking through the 2 divisions, and I almost chose somebody else. And then I was like, you know
Cork
what?
City.
No, I'm not going to tell you who it was. They'll pop up at some point.
Galway United.
But when I was like, you know what? I'm almost positive Derry had played in Northern Ireland first. And once
yeah.
I saw, I'm like, that's it. I've got this one selected.
Speaking of, I watched a documentary about the Irish League, the Republic.
Oh, League of Ireland.
About the League of Ireland, excuse me. Yes, the League of Ireland. It was recent. It was at one of those Copa 90 or whatever it is.
Okay.
I forget the guy who hosts it. I think he used to work for MLS as an analyst.
Okay.
His name escapes me right now.
You played for MLS. Of course, it's going to escape you.
Yeah.
Or an analyst for MLS.
And
Is it Phil Shane or Ty Keogh?
no, it's not. See, those are the 2 that I would
all I
remember.
got.
Phil Shane and Ty Keogh. That's all I got. 1996 is back, baby. What is old is new again. Yeah, I forget the guy's name, but I think he played for a little spell too. He was a player, and then he went and did a documentary about kind of this rise of the League of Ireland. Not just as far as like their standard, which is it's okay. It sounds like
It's getting better.
and it's getting better. But it was around the Irish people embracing their league for the first time during COVID.
Yeah.
So when they couldn't fly to Liverpool from Dublin and they had to then support their home clubs that for many of them they had forgotten about.
Yeah.
And I think it was last year that he went, and they were describing how like crowds for years at League of Ireland matches would be 800, 1,000 on a good day. And back in the day, I guess, they used to do really well, but everybody being locked on the island for 2 years forced them to return to Shelburne and St. Patrick's Athletic and Shamrock Rovers and all of them. And that they've kind of refound their traditional footballing culture. And the video that they were able to capture in and outside the stadiums, they've reignited their pub culture before the matches, and they've got their kind of ultras section now. And
yeah, it's great to watch. All the matches can be viewed online, but you have to pay for them.
yeah,
Unfortunately, even here, but they used to run the same late summer to spring season, like all across Europe, and they went to a summer schedule.
I think that was beneficial
Right now,
too.
they're 30 matches in. I was looking at it earlier. Derry are 10 points off the pace in third. I think it's Shelbourne and Shamrock Rovers top the table.
But I think that
And-
normally I'm not a fan of the spring the fall thing,
Yeah,
but I think it's multifaceted there.
yeah.
That you hit into the rainy season, which never ends in Ireland, but
You also have
you get it.
You have Gaelic football. You have hurling.
There-
It's
there's
like
too
here, they
much,
had to
yeah.
find it, but part of their big issue now is the government gives a lot of money to sport, and they keep giving it to like greyhound racing,
Yeah.
and a couple other things, and they're not putting it back into football, and it's a big point of contention because the Republic of Ireland national team is awful.
Yes, they are.
They used to be so good. 1990, they went to the quarterfinals.
The 94
and lost to
team was
Italy.
great.
The 94 team lost in the round of 16 to the Netherlands. they missed 98. They were back in the knockout stages of in 2002, and then they've fallen off a cliff.
But player development is so difficult there because they were a part-time league for the most part, and some of their second-tier sides were full-on amateurs.
But the best players always jumped over the sea to England.
Which, I mean, I think they
it's
always
kind of what they did.
They
and
always
they
will,
still
though.
do that.
Especially if you're good enough to play in League One, the Championship, Premier League, Scottish Prem as an Irish player. Financially, you would almost be crazy not to do it because even in League One, you're making anywhere from 150 to 250,000 pound, and then you get to Scottish Premier Champion. I mean, it's Championship. You're talking $1 million plus.
Yeah, but
it's real money.
The problem they have is the players are good enough for the lower half championship in League One or the Scottish Premier League. Well, how's Scotland doing?
Not well.
Not well. So
and Scotland's top two teams are basically full of non-Scottish players.
Yeah. So you're starting to see there are some players who are starting to bloom, and they're very young. And the question is, are they going to jump across the sea, or are they going to do like they did here, which is the best players are going to stay at home, and then the rocky road to Dublin doesn't go away.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the league, but it's growing in leaps and bounds. The FAI Cup last season had one of the largest attendances ever. They're just
they were there
turn
for
it
that.
out.
I think it was
probably what it was.
It was Shamrock Rovers and Shells or St. Patrick's. It was one of the two. And I think it was like 45,000 at the cup match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just a great turnout.
They played it at
Cup.
And they played it at the Aviva Stadium too, the big one. Yeah.
Yep. So great to see.
Free for all as we're into it. I think we already started it.
I think so.
I have an answer as to why Cracovia and Wisła Płock was canceled last week in Poland.
Oh, yes, because we did not know this.
Torrential downpours. I saw a video and screenshots. The field looked like a marsh down in the Pine Barrens
so they don't,
at high tide.
So they don't have the underwater drainage going.
The storm that was coming down wouldn't have mattered.
Really?
I mean, it was bad enough that you couldn't see past the first touch line. That the field was totally unplayable.
Okay. Well, since we're in the free-for-all.
Yeah.
Last season's FAI Cup. Drogheda 2-0.
Oh, Drogheda.
Over Derry City.
Okay.
That's right. They threw away the league.
Was St. Patrick's Shells the year before?
Bohemians the year before.
Bohemian. That's the one I think he went to.
Almost 44,000.
That's the one he was at.
Even last season, 38,000 and change, almost 39,000.
That's great for the cup final.
Yeah. So
and their league attendances are up too. For a smaller country, not a lot of people. There's only 4 million people in Ireland. Their attendances are pretty good.
Yeah.
Also worth. I'll throw you too. Cracovia is in first place now.
Ooh.
On 18 points. The mortal enemy is in first place.
Ooh. How does that sit with you?
Not well.
No?
No, I don't think I'm happy about that.
Okay, well, what happens if they keep pucking away at the top?
Not good things.
Could it be a double title season?
It could be.
In the city.
Yes.
Cracovia.
And Wisła.
Yeah.
They are in first place now again.
Now, let me ask you, would that make you feel okay?
Yeah. Yeah,
they can win the title. You win promotion.
We win promotion. They win the title, and then it's almost like the city owns the country.
You can let it slide.
I would look the other way if that happened.
Everybody, you get a trophy. You
get a trophy. What? And in the third, I didn't put it in my notes. Worth noting, in the third tier, there is another team from Krakow, Hutnik, which is out by the big steel mill, that is in second place. So you can have promotion,
and champions.
title, and champion.
Oh, wow!
It would.
I'm going to be honest with you.
I hope I want to see it. Yeah,
I want to see it.
And there is another team in the city in the second division with Wisła, Wieczysty Kraków, owned by this bajillionaire who bought it for a toy, and he built them up from they're like a pub team.
Yeah, a little Lego set for a stadium.
And they play it. Yeah, the stadium is the size of this couch. And he started signing all of these old Polish players when they were reaching the end of their career. these guys with the side, they'd be like 35 years old, 36, 37, and he just amassed this team of like 40-year-olds that's like just stampeded through like
The lower
all these
division.
like little like beer drinking divisions.
Yeah.
And they got to like the 4th tier, smacked through it, the 3rd tier, and he just kept going. And now they're in 3rd place in the 2nd division. They play in the same stadium as Wisła now.
So you could have champions of the country.
Champions of the 2nd
Champions of
division,
a promotion,
and champions of the 3rd division.
I want that even more.
I would go for the final week. If it was lining up where it could be like the last Sunday could be title, promotion, champion, promotion, and champion to
Everything
get promotion.
would be, in the city would be closed for a week.
Who gets the square?
Everybody. That's
Right?
what the
Like,
whole
do they
city
all
shuts
go
down.
there and they put all the teams up on the big cloth hall? Or like you guys go on this side, you guys go on this side, you guys go to the church, you guys it would be fantastic. I'm rooting for it now.
All right. That means for the free for all, this has to become a fairly regular check-in.
Every couple of weeks we'll take a look, and if we get to April 1st, I'm booking the flights.
Oh boy.
And we're doing it live. I know people who can get us more reliable internet in the hotel there that you don't have to pay like $85 a night for.
I noticed the term "we" was in there, so
You think I would leave you at home for a once-in-a-lifetime experience like that? It would be your one and only trip to Poland in your entire life. And if it was for a champion and 3 promotions on the same weekend, you would have to go.
oh yeah. Yep.
Last couple points that I have from the free-for-all. Back home in the scrimmage league,
I'm unfamiliar with this part of the free for all. But go ahead.
Son is scoring goals at will.
Not unexpected.
On-ball pressure mirroring that of someone in Miami. I will give credit where it is due, though. His fellow office mate at the LA office, and yes, we talk in code here.
Yeah.
There's a reason, but if you're on the inside, you understand. If not, we're talking about MLS. His office mate, Dennis Bouanga, is the first player in the history of the league 20 in 3 straight seasons.
Okay.
There's a lot of talent around him in the LA office, especially now that Son is there. But I like him, and if I had to rate the top 5 players in the scrimmage league right now, I would actually probably put him number 1, ahead of Messi.
Well,
hot take, but
20 goals in 3 straight seasons, 2 of which saw new teams come in, and the never-ending. I mean, what are they up to? 46.
64. It's like the NCAA's. You make the playoffs, and you make the playoffs, and you make the playoffs. Matt Freese will be staying in the Bronx location.
Okay.
Signed with NYCFC until 2030. That, to me, effectively says he will never leave the league. But
if he has a good World Cup, they're going to get a good transfer fee.
Somebody could come in.
Let's see. I hope some of these players get smart enough to put the release clause in with the dollar amount.
You would hope it's there now.
It's the only way they're going to get out.
Yeah, they'll keep you trapped here. I mean, look at was Twellman the one who was going to go to Preston?
Yeah, maybe.
And they shot that down, and it was money, and he said he lost millions of dollars in income because of it or something like that. Like his wage would have went up like 5 times. And I also, my last point is I made the list. So if you were watching us when we were doing this with Uncle Jeffrey previously, 10 years ago down to about 6 years ago, every year I would put out the list, and it was a list of American and sometimes Canadian players who are playing in MLS that could have a shout at the national team that should, if they had a good season, push for the move as much as you can push for the move when you're hampered down by a central office union contract.
Right.
You can only do so much. There used to be 30 or 40 names on this list, and I would put it out on Twitter, and then we would go over it on the show every year. I put together a list this year, and I believe I counted 14. And one of them doesn't really count because he's already signed to leave, and he's 14. Or Kevin Sullivan might be 15 now. So he's local. The best one of the lot is in a stone's throw of our entire viewing area in Kevin Sullivan at the Philadelphia Union. He will be leaving. He's already signed. The day he turns 18, he's on an airplane.
Manchester City, right?
Manchester City.
Yep.
So, again, I did this, and I was looking like, oh, who's in the attack? Like, there's got to be some Wondolowski type who could, go take the move. And I found 2 Americans in double digits for goals in the whole league. Brian White and Danny Mushofsky, who would both probably be in League One.
Yeah.
Or the bottom end of the Scottish
Might as well
Prem.
stay
Stay here and get the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's where I started going with this. I was looking at it. First off, it was very hard to find Americans starting. Like, very, very difficult. Whereas 10 years ago when we made this list the first time, I was like, oh, there are 6 here and 5 here and 4 here and 7 on this team. They've all utilized, this, and this isn't a political statement to anybody at home one way or the other. MLS has figured out how to utilize the green card system where everyone is now a domestic player. So they the writing on the legal book of the league now needs to be changed.
Yeah.
Because everyone is they're, for lack of a better term, they're abusing the green card thing for soccer.
Yeah.
And it's like if you hit it, they expedite it, and everybody gets one. It now needs to be changed to say U.S. national team or Canadian, if for the guys in Canada, Canadian national team eligible players. If you're not eligible, you don't count as a domestic player.
Yeah, and then they increase the amount of international spots.
Yes.
So it's a perfect storm of having players who can't play for either the U.S. or Canada taking 10 of probably,
the 11th
anywhere
spot,
from 8 to 10 of the 11 starting positions.
Yeah, and this truncated the list. Cincinnati, I only came up with one. Roman Celentano, the goalkeeper, and I think he's locked in. He's a starter there. He's a good goalkeeper.
Yeah.
If the offer comes, it's there. But I could see him playing potentially his whole career in Cincinnati. But again, one. Miles Robinson, it's too late.
Yeah.
So New York City, I was looking at the only youngster playing is a kid named Jonathan Shore. He's 18. I think there's another one behind him, Maxi Carrizo, 17. These 2 New York City natives. Yeah. It's something. But again, going through a team, 9 of the starters are not from the United States or Canada, and then Freeze is the other one.
Yeah.
Orlando, 1 player, Alex Freeman, 21 years old. When? Columbus, 1 player I came up with. Arfston. You could argue the goalkeeper. Hell, what's his name? Oh, why is it escaping me right now? I think it's a German name. Oh, why can't I think of it?
I'll look for that. You keep going through your list.
He's decent. When you find it, let me know.
I will.
The same thing. Austin, Owen Wolf, only 1. 20. Probably will. Oh, it's Josh Wolf's son.
Okay.
Probably has a future in Europe. Chicago, 2. Brian Gutierrez, Chris Brady. They're both at 21 years old, both playing, both have a shot. Red Bull, as young as they like to have this team, only 1 American makes the list. It's Julian Zagrzewski Hall. He's 17. Will go. Some of these other young players they have who are actually performing aren't American.
Evan Bush?
No, it's not Evan Bush. It's Patrick Schulte.
You don't play for Columbus.
Wait, what? Where is he?
I don't know, but he's not on this roster I am looking at. Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
He is there.
I was going to
Sorry.
say, Patrick Schulte plays for the
Oh
Crew.
my gosh, they have 5 goalkeepers. 1, 2,
Wait, what?
4 goalkeepers. 5 goalkeepers. That's why.
That's wild.
They have 5 goalkeepers. No wonder I couldn't find them.
Are 3 of them 15 years old and under the salary cap?
I don't know. They've got one from Guatemala.
I know the Guatemalan guys. He's their starter. He's Guatemala's starter, yeah.
The Abraham Romero from Mexico.
Do not know who that
Evan
is.
Bush,
Bush is
USA.
who's 35, 36.
Patrick Schulte.
Schulte, who's the
USA.
starter.
Stanislav Lapkes from Belarus.
Okay.
That's 5.
It's 5 goalkeepers. Yeah. And the last 3 on the list, Jack McGlynn, who the league handcuffed and sent to Houston.
Yep.
Nico Sakiris from San Jose, who I think Bruce will probably push. And Luna.
Who we know wants to go, but is, as we talked about,
It's
I
the
think
right move.
smart
Yeah.
for this season and get out after the Cup.
So my final question about this in my portion of the free-for-all, as the USL builds its 3-tier pyramid, they have a hard line limit of foreign players. it's 7. Like, I don't think, from what I understand, I don't think they count green cards. Like, you're either an American or you're not.
Yeah, the green card just makes sure you can work here.
Correct. But what they've done in MLS has been like, oh, it's a green card, now you're domestic.
Yeah.
And, like, does it become a league of choice 10 years from now for Americans as they start to bring up the wages a little bit? Like, you could get meaningful minutes at a young age. Competition's going to increase. I mean, Louisville sold a guy. Charleston sold a guy. Both of them to Europe. Markanich went to Segunda, and Winder was Louisville. Just bypassed it completely. This is down the line, but
it's all
better players are going to fall into it by default.
As USL breaks out their promotion relegation and their first division status, which has that been granted, or is that still an application?
Oh, I'm sure that's going to get tied up in court because they're going to try to stop it.
Well, U.S. Soccer would be in a very difficult position to stop it.
They're all going. I mean, everybody's building the grounds now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So,
I mean, Riverhounds are going from 5 to 15.
Yeah, that's it.
It's probably going to be the nicest stadium in the whole. I'm biased. It's going to be the nicest stadium in the whole league. Tuffy, get me tickets.
So with that,
I covered you a long time, buddy.
With that adjustment, then it comes down to bringing the dollars in on the sponsor side and getting people to pay to go to the matches. The TV will be behind a bit, but when you remember that MLS is not making the $250 billion that they thought they were, I don't think the gap may not be as far apart. Where this is gonna come down to it is MLS is still kicking around changing their season. USL right now, I believe, is not looking at that.
No, I think they're going to stay in the summer.
And if they do, I think that may become a problem for them if MLS switches.
Will they, though? These are all NFL guys. They want their stadiums full on Sunday, not Saturday.
The few that have them. The other ones who have their own grounds, what does it matter? If they own both. But
who holds the most clout, though, behind the scenes is the question. There's 30 investors in the company, but does Kraft still hold the cards?
And
like who's the not Don Garber? Who's the Don?
Because it's also and it goes back to the conversations we used to have. Why do you want to have your championship game when college football are playing their conference championships and the NFL is in the playoff run?
Yeah.
And I know it's like, it's cold in the north.
It's cold in Russia, and they play in Germany and Poland, and
MLS plays. We don't play in the winter. Yes,
we do.
In the winter, you play in February.
Yeah.
So there's ways to make the calendar work, but the question that is going to be huge to answer that question of does USL become a league of choice? There's a few factors that we still have to wait on before we can say, yes, they're making a run at it, or they're being a little too conservative, and until they do X, Y, Z, they're not going to get there yet.
Great show.
It was.
Do you have any free-for-all contributions?
Actually, I have to go back to the very beginning of the show because my parents missed last week's show. That means... And to go with that, I have not sent any pictures home in a few weeks, which means this is the first time they are seeing the beard. So for mom and dad, please know that the beard is being grown in for the first time so it can be shaved off on October 14th for auction to raise money for Cancer Support Community. It's October 14th, Pearly Bakers in Easton.
I love this reveal. This is fantastic.
And you'll be happy to know that your oldest granddaughter will be in attendance because she wants to help shave it. Because the next day is her birthday. So I will have the smooth face back for her birthday. So... For mom and dad seeing this, it's temporary, and it should be gone before I see you next.
I think that is the final thought. That's the final word. Mom, I will be clean shaven for your granddaughter's birthday.
Please don't be mad.
It's for a good cause, I promise.
Don't cut off my allowance. Don't make me do extra chores around the house.
You're gonna go down there in a couple of weeks. The business is gonna be all the garbage cans lined up. Take these to the street. Your father is on protest. Again, thank you for coming down here. Always great to have you. Always great to have fun with the cancer support community of the Greater Lehigh Valley, and we'll keep everybody in tune with what's going on, week by week as we get closer to this next set of events. And that was the final word. Yeah. So for JJ Pepe, I'm Alex Fedorashevsky. God bless. Have a great night. Uncle Jeffrey remembered is next. JJ?
Ciao for now.